Ask and you shall receive. The highly requested The Lord of Combat series is back in its full 30-minute capacity. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to get into it right now. No intro, no promo. Let's go. Jarek is a character in the Mortal Kombat fighting game series who made his debut in Mortal Kombat 4 for those of you that don't know. Now, of course, his gender is male, his origin is Earthrealm, and he currently resides in Earthrealm, therefore his species is human. Now, when it came to his weapons, he used things like the Black Dragon Sword, which he had in MK4 and Mortal Kombat Gold, and he also had a Tri-Blade in Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat Gold, also a kick axe and a lasso. Now, when it came to his fighting styles, he was more so Dragon. That's what he had in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and in Mortal Kombat 4 and Gold and Special Forces and Deception. Those are the games that he appeared in, except Deceptions, he made a cameo, as well as Mortal Kombat Unchained. He did a cameo there also, then returned in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. By the time Mortal Kombat X came around, he was in the comic book series, but also made a cameo in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, he also was portrayed by John Hay in Mortal Kombat 4 and Gold, and then by James Freeman by the time he got to Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Now, first debuting as a playable character in Mortal Kombat 4, Jarek was depicted as the British and short-tempered second-in-command of the Black Dragon clan. Now, in the games, he initially utilized special moves and fatalities popularized by Kano. You know, Kano was his boy, a trait later explained by stating that Jarek was once a student of Kano. Now, Jarek's lack of originality caused him to be labeled as somewhat of a uninspired character by the Mortal Kombat fan base, which I gotta agree, because they was extremely lazy in making this character when they could have spent more time on making him, or just not putting him in the game at all and just replacing him with Kano and allowing this character to get a better moveset, more of a backstory. However, he would later gain his own unique moveset in Armageddon. So, when it comes to his appearance, as you can see in Mortal Kombat 4, Jarek is a young British looking Latin American man, just to go into a little more detail, and he's roughly in his 30s with a short black hair and a small brush-like goatee. He wears an orange sleeveless vest with the Black Dragon logo imprinted with black paint, and it's black green tactical pants. Now, orange wrists and shin guards and combat black boots, classic military gear basically. But by the time we got in Armageddon, he wears drastically different clothing. Like, his default costume consists of red chest armor, shoulder pads, wrist guards, and boots, but his alternate costume is a full suit of green armor with orange outlines. It makes no sense at all. He also sports furred black hair, and his goatee is slightly bigger, so they did not do anything that resembles his original design, which was very, very disappointing. I gotta tell you that now. Initially, when it comes to his combat and characteristics, like I said before, he shared most of his moves with Kano, but later on he gained his own moves, as mentioned. That was explained with the fact that Jarek was Kano's student, which was mentioned also. Just give you that quick recap. Now, it is stated in Jarek's bio that he spent his time training and testing out new fatalities, but he never got to show them, as Armageddon featured a creative fatality system, but replaced the character's individual fatalities, which was far ahead of its time. That's not something they should have done. They should have kept the original fatalities for Armageddon, but I know it was going to take a very long time for them to assign fatalities to everybody. Creative fatality needs to come back in 2022. It was just too far ahead of its time at that point, basically. So as far as him making appearances in other medias, like I said earlier, he did appear in the comic book. Like, Jarek makes a small appearance in the official Mortal Kombat 4 comic book that was distributed with some versions of the gaming, so Sonya basically tracked him down to the city of Shanghai. After fighting Sonya on the rooftop, Jarek was able to evade her clutches and escape on his motorcycle like a bad boy, So when it comes to his character development, I'll just say this. Jarek's facial expression was based on Mortal Kombat character designer and modeler Herman Sanchez, because Jarek had the same moves as Kano, Many fans angrily claimed that he was simply Kano 2.0 and Mortal Kombat 4, which they were not wrong about at all. Now, this holds some truth since the development team began making 3D models of existing MK fighters and then decided at the last damn minute that they needed to add some new people. That should have been a no-brainer. Well, Jarek was designed to be the Kano character. This explains why he shares so many moves with him. Now, the same holds for others too. Like, we gotta call out Raiko, who was originally supposed to be Noob Saibot. We gotta call out Tanya, who was originally supposed to be Kitana. However, Tanya and Raiko had their own original moves, while Jarek only had two moves, which was, if I can remember off the top of my head, it was the Tri-Blade and the Rhino Stomp, you know, which was similar to like Quan Chi's move, if we being honest. Now, it is also notable that Jarek is often compared with Kira. The main reason for their comparisons is that they both are Black Dragon clan members, basically clones and copycats of everybody else who use moves from Kano. Unlike Jarek, however, Kira had her own set of fatalities and shared some of Sonya's moves as well. Now in the MK4, Jarek was assigned Kano's fatalities, but without a artificial eye. Like Kano, he had no viable reason to shoot lasers from his own eyes. This was left in anyway, and it was never explained. People just didn't talk about it and basically did the head rub and just kept moving on with their life. Now, by the time we got to Armageddon, Jarek was finally given his own set of moves that made him unique from Kano. Now, the crypt in Armageddon did include several pieces of concept art related to Jarek, a sketch of his lasso snatch move drawn by Ed Boon himself. You know, Ed Boon reveals that this rope throw was influenced by Scorpion's spear technique. Two possible weapon stances are also shown, one with Jarek holding two leaf swords and the other with him holding two kick axes. Now, the leaf blades were dropped as they did not fit Jarek's undefined look. Thank God they dropped that. Now, in the finished game, he only uses one kick axe, so that was changed completely by the time we got around to getting an official version of the copy. Now, Jarek appeared as the boss. Gotta give him credit. He was a boss character. He appeared on the 3rd level in Mortal Kombat Special Forces. He had the ability to throw blades, taunts, and fire an orb that paralyzed the player if it was shot. He also makes a cameo appearance in Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest mode in it. Jarek can be found in the Nether Realm searching for Oni teeth in order to prove his worth to the Black Dragon clan. However, he simply pays Shujinko to find these for him. Jarek also appears in Armageddon's Conquest mode during the first training session and basically representing the generic enemy that Taven must fight. So that's a little fun fact. Now, if we're talking trivia, in early versions of Armageddon, the holy leaf blades were supposed to be his weapon. Quick recap. Jarek used the dragon fighting style, which was originally used by Sub-Zero in Deadly Alliance and Deception, for those of you that don't know or just got short-term memory. Now, he is seen fighting Sindel in the game's opening cutscene if you look closely. It is stated in the artwork for Jarek's lasso snatch that it would be the only time the team would reuse Scorpion's rope model for another move slash character, because of course they don't want to take that specialness away from Scorpion or make all the characters too much alike. That's just gonna piss a lot of people off. Now, Jarek is the only returning character introduced in Mortal Kombat 4 who does not feature a costume referencing his original design, and that really pissed a lot of people off too, if we being honest. Now, by the time we get around to Mortal Kombat X, yes, I'm following the timeline here, Jarek is mentioned in about 2 intros, I believe, between Kano and Jax in Mortal Kombat X. Jarek also, with Kira, was considered as non-playable characters in Mortal Kombat X, but the idea was basically changed last minute, so he did not get to make it, or whatever, you know? So don't forget, if you got the time, look up one of the Mortal Kombat 4 limited edition comic books from the year 1998 from Midway Games. You'll be able to check out some of Jarek's stuff is some things you don't want to miss. I'm also going to be doing more videos on Jarek, especially about his weapons in the future, so that'll be something that we all will be able to go over and kind of enjoy. So listen, we're not done yet. I'll tell you this: by him being a member of the Black Dragon, he was able to obtain some really good fighting techniques, which is Dragon Kung Fu. That's the full name of it, Dragon Kung Fu. Well, when it comes to his hobbies, him as a person, yes, more character development here. Slaying his enemies is a hobby to him. That's not even a mission, that's a hobby. It shows you how dangerous and how deadly this guy is when it comes to wanting to get his hands on somebody. And I feel like they can do a lot with that in Mortal Kombat 12. So hopefully we do get the opportunity to see him back. I do have information on Jarek, but I will not be putting no leaks in this video because I want this video to stay pure. If you want to watch leaks, stay tuned towards the channel as I will be posting them along around the time of these videos. Now, serving the Black Dragon is also a hobby for him too. That's not his main focus. That is not his main focus at all. As long as he's able to serve the Black Dragon and benefit from it, that's one of the things that's going to keep him as an active member. Committing crimes is another thing that he likes doing. He just wake up in the morning, commit crimes, chew bubblegum, throw the paper on the ground, push over old ladies, run red lights, anything you can think of, he's out there doing it. Now, trying to stay alive to him is a hobby because he really don't care about life the way you think he do. He don't want to be here anyway, and he'll tell you that himself. Attaining more money is another hobby he has. One thing that's always a motive for a lot of people that basically keep you doing what you're doing. So the money is just too good for him to pass up. This is the reason why he continues to work with Kano and the Black Dragon, because he wants to attain more money. Now, another thing he does very well is he's a very antagonizing and harassing individual, meaning he likes to antagonize people and he likes to harass people. So it's not like if he see you, it's on sight. It's if I think about you, it's on sight. Meaning he'll probably DM you on Instagram, write you on Facebook, or anything like that, just being as mean as he possibly can to piss you off, to antagonize and harass you. And that's another reason I think they can do a lot with this character. Now, antagonizing and harassing not only just anyone, but most importantly the special forces and the Red Dragon. Those are the people he's looking to harass the most. He wants to harass them because that's just something he's interested in. Now, if you were to ask me, hey, does he have any goals? I would say his goals are no different from his hobbies. Like, one of his goals is wiping out all his foes. If he can drop a nuclear bomb to destroy his foes, then he would. Why you think he joined the Black Dragon and they broke out of jail and went on this crime spree, hiding in warehouses and basically just working with Kano, doing as much evil stuff as they can do? But surprisingly, one of his goals is to kill Kano for deserting him, because Kano basically used him and kicked him to the curb, and I feel like that could be a really great storyline. I got some juicy information regarding that too, so like I said, stay tuned to the channel if you get the hint that I just gave you right there. Now, just like everybody else, including myself, he wants to gain the godlike power of Blaze, to become a god and to steal the chi from everyone else. So he is the big dog. If he can beat Chronica and take her stuff, trust me, he probably would. Now, we're going to talk about his rap sheet. We'll be talking about that all day, so I'm going to save that for a little later. But I do want you to know what type of fighter he is. He is a cowardly fighter. A coward, which means he will catch you when you're not looking. When you sleep, he'll burn your house down just to make sure you don't get out of it. If you catch him lacking, he'll get on his knees, basically beg and plead the fifth, pluck you in the eye, low blow you, take your glizzy and use it on you. Basically, just the type of person he is, you know. So when it comes to his powers and abilities, though, he is a skilled fighter and has the ability to perform cannonball attacks, but he also has a vertical version of it, which is pretty cool. You know, he can also stomp to create a small but powerful tremor and use a rope that allows him to lasso an opponent or anchor himself to the ground while he flees at the opponent. Now, Jarek can also shoot a laser out of his eye to perform one of Kano's fatalities, but as I mentioned, there's no explanation why he can do that. But he also has a star-shaped blade that allows him to basically throw stuff at people. So what I'm about to do here, I want you to hear it from the developers' mouths themselves. So I'm getting ready to put Ed Boon and the NRS team, at the time the Midway team, on screen and let them describe to you and give an explanation as to why he is the way he is. Then I'll be back with more of his history. So go ahead and check this out, and then I'll be right back with you after this video is done aired.
Jarek.
Long thought to be the last remaining member of the Black Dragon, Jarek had served as Kano's second in command. After his master's apparent death, Jarek fled to Adinia. Shinnok's attempt to take control of the realm seemed to leave him no other choice, and so Jarek joined forces with his sworn enemies, Sonya Blade and Jackson Briggs.
Jarek first made his appearance in MK4, and if you actually look at him, he's based on one of our character artists, Herman Sanchez.
Jarek was a character introduced in Mortal Kombat 4, and he's basically Mortal Kombat 4's Kano character. He has all of Kano's moves, from the eye beam to the ball rolling move, and then he has an additional move, a back slam move, basically causes an earthquake that the other characters, you have to jump up to avoid.
Mortal fatality.
Listen, the fact that they admitted their laziness the way that they did is comical to me. I'll just say that there. But let's go ahead and continue with the rest of this history of / lore video about Jarek. Now, we're just going to go ahead and go over his list of crimes. I thought about it, and I think you people need to know just how dangerous this guy is. Now, number one on his list is murder. Murder is definitely the number one thing. This dude has no problem killing somebody to get what he wants, or to get a point across, to put fear in his enemies. That's just how he rolls. That's just how he operates. And I'm pretty sure being a part of a gang, murder is just like very common, especially for the Black Dragon. And if you're gonna be rolling around with Kano, you got to be able to kill people just for the fun of it. Now, when it comes to attempted, no different from the regular murder. This is something else he has no problem doing, such as burning down your house and stealing your car and putting you in it and pushing it into the river and things of that nature. This is a very, very, very bad man. Now, one thing he does best is he does smuggling. Smuggling is his thing. This dude can smuggle anything. Can smuggle his way into prison, smuggle his way out of prison. Also can smuggle guns. That's another thing that Kano really liked about him, is he was able to smuggle the weapons that were needed. He also brought that additional tool to the Black Dragon, which I'm pretty sure Kano appreciated. But of course, Kano turned his back on him because Jarek was he was too good. He was too cool. He was too cool for Kano, and Kano knew that this guy would eventually smarten up and take him out the equation, so he just could not take the risk of allowing that to happen. Now, assassinations. That's another thing that, as mentioned earlier, it's very common to him. That doesn't need too much explanation, but I will say this: he takes contracts just like Kano, and that's the reason why he's a carbon copy of Kano. Terrorism, we know that's his thing also. Now, weapons dealing is one of the biggest ways that he make his money, is smuggling and dealing weapons. Now, sabotage. When I say sabotage, he likes to play people against each other, which is feeding false information to both parties. He'll feed information to the Red Dragon, but also feed false information to the news about special forces or the Red Dragon to make them look bad, or to lure them out of hiding. That's just his thing. That's something that he specializes in doing, which is no different from him being an antagonizer, antagonizing people to try to get a reaction from them. Now, when it comes to brutalizing, there's nothing more fun to Jarek than beating somebody to a bloody pulp, or choking them to a bloody pulp, allowing them to recover, and then starting the process all over again. It's called torture. That's basically what he liked doing. Jesus, I hope my YouTube video doesn't get flagged for all of these keywords that I'm saying about these things. So if this video doesn't have a lot of views or it get flagged, then this is the reason why. But real quick, before I continue with his criminal list, this video is being broadcast live right now. You see that chat box to your right? Yeah, go ahead and hop in the chat box and let's communicate and talk about this video. Also, be sure to drop a like real quick and to subscribe if you're really enjoying this content and you want me to continue. Alright, so with that being said, assault, we know assault, simple assault, felony assault, those are his things. Those are things that he likes to do. Now, mutilation is the most horrific one on this list, because chopping somebody's arm off or dismembering them is definitely something he can do. This guy really gets extremely violent, and as mentioned, he's a jailbreaker because he broke No Face and a lot of other people out of jail. He was a part of that jailbreak, basically. You get what I'm saying when it comes to that there. So this dude is definitely somebody to not be reckoned with, you know. And to be honest, it's believed to be the last member of Kano's clan, the Black Dragon. Jarek is hunted down by Special Forces Agent Sonya, as mentioned, for the crimes against humanity, because those are the type of crimes that he liked committing. Now, with the emergence of a much greater evil, Sonya focused her strength on the new menacing Quan Chi. Once Quan Chi stepped on the scene, Jarek was basically an old episode of The Flash at this point, because nobody was watching it. They wanted to watch the newer episode instead. So that would kind of push them to the back burner. If he teamed up with Quan Chi, I think that would actually be really good. Remember, he used to be a boss character, and they could actually bring him back as a boss character. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that would be dope. I mean, he was a boss, so you gotta respect the law, NRS. Do not make him a jobber at all. Don't do that. Now, Jarek now finds himself fighting alongside Sonya and Earth's warriors to help defeat the evil elder god Shinnok. And like I said, there's more to this story, but you got to stay tuned to the channel if you want to get the rest of that. Now, it was unclear if we were supposed to like or dislike Jarek in Mortal Kombat 4. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, listen, I really thought that he was a semi-decent newcomer in MK4 Gold. Considering his selection, Jarek brought a few cool moves to the series and refreshingly took the place of Kano, who seemed to be getting kind of stale, if I'm being honest, as the Black Dragon clan leader. You know, now after MK4, Jarek vanished. Like, he vanished from the face of the earth. He vanished from the series for quite a while, probably because he died in this notorious MK4 ending, which I will be showing here in 4K, so stay tuned for that. The ending that he had with Sonya and Jax. Now, indeed, Jarek was a part of the most hilariously bad MK4 ending in existence, which is actually saying a lot. To quote Jarek from the ending, NetherRealm Studios wishes they could come up with something as good as that one, I promise you. Now, several years after his debut, Jarek finally returned in Armageddon. For some reason or another, the MK dev team decided to drastically change his outfit and his face, which I just cannot let go and get over. With his new ugly mug and ugly armor, I'd say his Armageddon appearance was pretty damn forced, if you ask me. Nobody asked for this, and it was boring. This also didn't put much thought into his new moveset. They didn't put no thought into his moveset, like most characters in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, to be honest. But what a waste of opportunity to bring back the most hilarious ending. They didn't use that to their advantage, but hey, what do I know? I'm just some dude on YouTube making videos. Obviously, NRS get paid the big bucks that we like to talk about. And they get paid that for a reason. Listen, this guy has the most potential I've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat character. That's what I do want you to know. He has the most potential ever. And I think that is something I advise them to capitalize on. They really should capitalize on that, because Look how entertaining he is, especially when you update the graphics. This dude is a gold mine for content, and I think that's something that needs to be appreciated by NRS. Bring back some of these new characters. We're tired of the same old ones over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's time for something fresh, and I think Mortal Kombat 12, which is going to be the biggest Armageddon reboot ever, is something that can help do this. Now, let's get back to the lore. I'm gonna put this video on the screen of his ending in 4K. Hopefully you enjoy this. I'll be right back after this video airs. I'll be right back, y'all.
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade, over.
Sonya, glad to hear you're alive.
You actually sound happy to hear from me, Jax. Things get boring?
Not since you followed Liu Kang into the Nether Realm.
Well, it's over now. I'm returning to base. 10-4, Jax.
This is Major Briggs. Come in. Sonya, so you're there.
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade. What?
Sonya, come in. Sonya, this is Jax. Are you there? Going somewhere, Jarek? Jax! I thought you were going to. Thought I was what? Dead? Like my partner you just tossed off the cliff? I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise. Too late, Jarek. You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it. Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
Shout out to Dark O for that amazing render that he did 4K. I'm sure that took him a very long time. The link to his video will be in the description below if you want to watch that full screen. I did not put it full screen because I want you to be able to watch that in its entirety on his channel. That way he can get his views up and everything. And also, a lot of you have the burning desire to want to know, what would Jarek look like if he was in Mortal Kombat 9? That's a good question, right? Well, guess what? Thanks to modder Raphael Lorenzo, which his link will be in the description also, you can go check his channel out for tons of leaks. He made a Jarek mod that is fantastic across the board. I gotta share this with you. So that's what I'm about to put on your screen here in a second. Make sure, if you enjoyed this, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, as this is your brand new favorite and exclusive place for Mortal Kombat content, daily content at that. So if you're enjoying yourself, why not turn on the post notifications? That way you can be updated. But anyway, here's that awesome video that I was just telling you about. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Check it out.
Vengeance will be mine! You will serve me in the Netherrealm. Get over here!
Let us dance!
Listen, we didn't get to see much gameplay of Jarek, but we did get a look at him, and I must say his design looked fantastic. So again, Shout out to Rafael Lorenzo for putting that together. I really wanted you guys to see that. But I want to pass this question off to you guys in the comment section below. Do you think Jarek should be put in Mortal Kombat 12? Sound off. I will be reading the comments.